In this lesson, we'll look at how to create a line chart in Excel. Firstly, we'll look at a super quick way of creating a simple line chart. Then we'll look at two different ways in which we can add another data series to an existing line chart. Now, the first and most important step is to make sure that our data is set up properly beforehand. That way we might not even need to do anything. Excel can work it all out by itself and create the chart automatically without us having to select all the relevant bits. Now firstly, let's see what is the bare minimum needed to create a line chart. Firstly, we need a data series or a set of values that we want to plot. In our example, that's these sales values. These will be plotted against the y-axis. So a higher value is higher up on the y-axis. Then we need labels for the x-axis. Now with a line chart, that's very frequently a set of dates. So we'll have dates running along the x-axis. So looking at our data set, the first thing we need to make sure of is that all the x-axis labels are in one column and all the y-axis values in another. And we can see that our data set has some sort of structure, but it still needs some work. Now, a lot of people make the mistake of creating a chart based on dodgy data and then forever having to struggle to make the chart work. It's much easier to just spend a bit of time fixing the data up front and then let Excel build the chart for you. So let's start by cleaning up our data. We'll get rid of all these blank rows. I'll click in one of these blank rows and press Ctrl-. Now that brings up the delete dialog. I'll press the down arrow until I get to entire row and press enter. Okay, now that we've deleted a row, that's our last completed action. So I'll just use the arrow keys and move down to the next row and press F4, which is redo. So it will just redo that delete entire row action. Then I'll shuffle down to the next one, F4, shuffle down, F4. And of course, I'll just leave this last one and use the mouse. Some people prefer the mouse. So we can also right click and go delete. Okay, now our data set is set up perfectly for a line chart. So what we do is click somewhere within our data set. That's very important that the active cell should sit somewhere in the data set. Then we go insert and we click on line chart, and then we select the top left one, which is line chart. And it's as simple as that. Now we have on the x-axis, we have our dates. On the y-axis, we have our values, and we can see that the heading has been picked up as the chart label. And that's very simply how we create a line graph. Now, what if we want to include the profit as well? The simplest way would be to click somewhere within the chart, and then we can see these colored blocks indicating the data currently used in the data set. Actually, firstly, I'm going to grab this data and press Ctrl-X, move to the left and press enter, just to make sure we still have this structured data set. So now I go back, click somewhere in my graph, and I take this blue rectangle and very carefully position my cursor on the corner and then just drag it out. And we'll see we've now included the profit data set as well. So let's say we want to include the expenses as well. I'll just grab that again, Ctrl-X, move it across, press enter. So the other way to add it would be to select that entire data series, press Ctrl-C for copy, and then I'll click anywhere within the graph again and press Ctrl-V. Bang. And like magic, it just pastes the data set into the graph. So now if we click out and click back into the graph, we can see it's picked up the entire data set. Initially, there was no need for a legend to tell us what is orange, what is blue, what is gray, because there was only one data series, and the sales heading was just used as the chart label. So now that we've extended it to more than one data series, the chart label was dropped, but there's still no legend. So we can click on the plus sign over here, and we'll add a chart element, and the element that we'll add is a legend. So we'll just click on legend, and now we can see the blue line is sales, the orange line is profit, and the gray line is expenses. Okay, and that's it. Now we can always go and clean the chart up a little bit. Just drag the legend up here. We can extend the chart area a little bit. Maybe give the legend a nice clear background and border outline, and that's it. Okay, so thanks for watching. Really hope you enjoyed it. Please remember to click the like button if it was of any value to you. Also, feel free to subscribe to the channel if you want to make sure not to miss out on any upcoming Excel magic. Thanks, yeah.